from Ascent, but there were glimmers of hope, right? With the way they started and the comfort levels actually come out after getting slapped around in the first half, they actually come out swinging in the second. Haven does enable some defensive side aggression, a little more so than Ascent in my eyes, especially
Okay, here we go.
this
KRU
comp, so
on defense.
really going to test KRU
C9 again starting on attack. KRU got to pick KRU, so obviously this is KRU's C9's map pick, so KRU got to pick defense.
Whimpering in this game, Katsumi trying to bait the peak for Melt, and it's a little swing piece, a little flash and swing.
What did I just watch?
Flash off this trap here that's placed deep in towards Rabbit, even as soon as actually they deal with it. I think Jazzy almost considering the possibility and actually perfect, using the TP to dip away.
Chad, I can't even break that down. I'm just in my head, I'm trying to...
Using the chamber like that, Mel, lovely consideration, and there's the pinch. KRU not going to let it up, though.
Nice shutdown, though. They had a lot of people over... You never really see two people here over towards B, but this guy had full information, so it's just like, it made sense. It's a nice pistol from KRU. Yeah, they're looking way more confident, hitting their shots. This isn't done, though. I'm still a little bit nervous.
To go forward in Konzu now.
Oh boy.
Does eventually get found. Cross being watched.
Good damage there as well.
Does not need to overextend though. Can play patiently, wait for the support, gets a little ahead of the smoke. No, okay. Slows down the roll and they want another pick. And they need maybe two here. And that's what they're eyeing up. Not gonna happen. Kalita gonna find it, and Alexis.
Okay, really nice from KRU.
Has to face the
Much better from them.
Beautiful start for KRU, especially
Yeah,
that
it was really
lovely,
good. Good shutdown over towards B. Maybe
C9
C9 had to do more over towards A to keep two people here, right? We had one fade, just locking this down, and then so that meant that we could have heavier over towards this area. So I kind of wanted something more over towards A to actually create the pressure and create two people here, but it was nice util from KRU.
That spike to be left out in no man's land once that smoke did deplete, but KRU actually get themselves the first on the board here.
Okay, this is where this gets interesting. An FPX buy on the defense half, you don't see too much because the guns are a little bit more isolated. When you do FPX buy on the attack half, again, FPX buy is just buying 3 rifles and then having 2 pistols. It's a lot easier to do it fundamentally well on your attack. On defense, it gets a little bit loose because you can overwhelm and you can get the guns. So this will be interesting. At the very least, I like that the 3 guns over towards the same site so they can fight very heavy. Does mean that this is a little bit weaker.
They should be well aware
I guess
that no one's pressuring this right now. They've got to be careful because they've given up the B site. They are dependent on that one trap.
You don't see many people going for FPX buy in defense just because it can backfire pretty easily. Okay, so they get into B, find the plant, and they are gonna... This is nice from C9. Look at this. This is really big. This...
Through Garage, 3 players on the other side.
And it gets info. That was actually sick. Katsumi did so well.
Still, you got to see if they can hold on. Maybe make some more danger come through in a bit of a swing.
Look at C9, they're in C.
Flipping the script a little here. Jazzy hitting a big shot. Needs another, may not get it here.
Oh man, Guardians. Ooh, it feels so weird. It's such an odd buy for me.
And gonna get it towards halfway, I believe. Big Shell comes in and Jazzy just putting.
Dude, the Guardians just much rather have the Spectres.
Does she get away with it? Oh, it's not the play.
This was a little bit close.
They get the defuse,
okay, it wasn't convincing. Again, I'm not a fan of the FPX buy on the defense, especially with some of the Guardian shots we were seeing. I think it's just a lot nicer to have the Spectres and just run and gun a little bit. They keep 2 rifles, so let's see. If they go for a buy here, there's only one person that can't buy a rifle.
All the way onto C site to find another kill.
It was so cool. See, and I like this. If you're willing to be aggressive, assertive, hold that.
No, they definitely whiffed a little bit. Hey, you had the audio of a replay. It's fine. They just didn't show it.
Try and take that map control as they move forward. So we dive back in the buy round.
Okay, so they do go full in. We have an op out. Oh, okay, they're really going in. So then someone must have had to have bought another Guardian. Okay, it's bought another Guardian and light armor. Yeah, this is fine. This is a huge round. Right? Look at the money. These 2 can't buy next. So these 2 can't buy. All of these can't buy. So this is actually a really big round. If KRU have a great buy here. Chamber goes down early, gets full info, and he has a trip over towards here. So all of this is just locked.
Towards A lobby this time. A bit of a switch up. So we'll be tasked. Actually, we'll catch.
A lot of pressure on B so far. There's 3 rounds in a row they've tried to go B within the fast. Not heavy exec, but oh boy, they're not going to expect this.
That's just not safe TP.
No, it's not, but the paranoia just a centimeter off target.
I think I would have been so fine to just carry on going for more there, but they play it very super safe. This is nice, good info. That's fine because I think Raze, yeah, nice trade.
The follow-up from Romy, who'd already pushed down A-Long.
Trip down as well, so there is pressure over towards here.
It's learning as they go. 30 seconds now, no plant.
Still no plant, and everyone's in a good position. It's pretty good.
Numbers advantage here.
They smoke this off.
Do have that operator. Well, Connor is going to be the one to take.
We have a stun. That's it.
Actually anticipating some post-plant aggression here.
All of Fade utils up as well. This is so nice.
Going to find one.
Yeah, beautifully considered. Very well done.
Oh, that was a big one. Alexis just gets multi-kills all the time.
Bringing it back down to an even affair here. But again,
I think the people in... Wow, okay, these two did so well. I think the timing of the retake was a little bit off. The garage crew kind of went a little bit too early.
When that pressure comes through onto
Alexis, I don't want to say saving because this is the first round that she's actually like saved them, but she's having a lot of impactful multi-kills.
With that fault line, all the way from outside B, slows down that push from C9W. Perfectly done. Actually coming into this crew.
Okay, they have to eco here. We get a hero judge. Oh my goodness, this is sick.
Mid will be the focal point.
Hero judge playing close shot. Okay, aggression on middle, trying to force them into the judge. It might work. How many people are going to go short? Oh, okay, this might work. This feels like watching me in ranks. This is what I do. Ah, it's so strong. Such a nice strat around it. Aggro mid, try and force them over towards the judge. This was great from crew.
This was a gamble, though. It does have a downside. Not able to control.
2 guns short. They should be pushing. Be pushing middle to try and get these guns. Oh my goodness. No idea that they walked up. No idea that they walked into A. Do you know what? It feels like crew do the hard work into these rounds, and then you can kind of see a little bit of inexperience, right? They kind of lose their cool sometimes.
Might even catch Konsu all the way deep in spawn here. This information relayed.
Raze is going to pick up a gun, right?
Here for Romy to retrieve
yeah, Raze picks up a gun.
Vandal in hand now, positioned in short. The test the diligence once again of C9W.
Does have a nade, doesn't want to give away her position.
2 rifles lost there. They've got to be aware of where these weapons were left.
Safe plant, it's noted, yeah.
Yeah, they're very aware there's a chance that someone slipped through here.
Ultimate available now for Alexis as well, so they can pressure one way or the other.
Let's look at this post plant. Committing a little towards CT still. Jazzy feeling a little
Raze has walked out. They played dude, no idea how good the nade could be here.
Building up unawares in the crossfire.
Nade.
Get broken down. That's Alexis gone.
Has to push into the smoke, really.
Finds the first and looks for the follow-up. Still the pain shell to play if they want it. The time ticking in their side. There's going to be a push off of the spike potentially. Can't sit that no more. 50 seconds.
Damn. Okay. Nice from C9 to close this out again. Crew, they're doing the hard work, but then sometimes when it gets into these pressure situations, a little bit individual. This person had no idea that they could be over towards A. The chamber went in together. Chamber went in on her own without anyone. But in terms of the overall strat, I thought the overall strat was great. But just the landing was kind of missing.
As the reinforcements come through for Kalita. Beautifully done. And the atmosphere
it was a cool strat though. I liked it a lot. Push them here, get them to reactively go in towards the judge.
Say though, that was a purchase with not too much behind it from crew. Now they've got the rifles out. Now they've got the ultimate starting to cycle through. This is a
lot of mid aggression again.
Interesting, and Romy right back to business.
Romy has ult.
Be a problem, be a nuisance, be a saboteur.
I was going to say, did I know actually Connie popping the tour de force as well? Position all the way on short, but Bob's found the headshot.
Popped the chamber ult, but then bought a gun as well.
To hang around.
So now can't buy next.
Oh, Kalita, this is the poison chalice waiting. Kalita, they're going to know you're there this time, but still wins the fight. Mel gets punished.
Breach ult with that kill.
Some control, but the speed up towards
Breach ult with that kill. These two ults, surely.
That site is theirs, and instantly
big
coming in. Jazzykins wants to clear through sewer.
Oh my goodness.
Big indicator. They've already potentially pushed towards long, so red alert should be called.
I think noting actually the Kalita has
this retake should be fine with these ults.
Now to employ from long onto site.
And here comes that pinch coming in. You can see all that pressure. Romy is there, flies on through, sends it, gets it. Jazzy gone down with the trade.
Good nade it again.
Bob finds it right on back, and Romy almost behind him, and line still needs to clear these players out of position. And Bob is the immovable, still standing, takes down Beige. Oh, Romy! Where has that just come from?
Oh, that's unlucky. That is unlucky. Good attempt from Romy. Nice from Bob.
What a round, though.
Yeah, this was crazy. I thought they might have been good from here. Dude, some of the awareness feels a little bit off from KRU in some of these situations.
In that scenario.
Bob went huge though.
Jazzy following through with the showstopper, anticipating that Rolling Thunder being employed. What a round to watch back. I think Mel even had a stinger here. I've just caught off guard here with the timing.
So the chamber ulted, but then bought a Vandal. So the chamber now can't buy here. It's like one of the good things about chamber, right? You can just be buying all the time. So the decision there to buy a rifle with I don't know, that felt like that was an odd decision for me.
Way more aggressive, way closer, way more fought for, and again the pressure mounting towards that A site.
Raising highlights, yeah, the Rays went flying with the breach on.
But again, they are working with Sheriffs. It's bits and pieces, and that judge just ain't finding the footing it did before.
This time, great awareness as well from Katsumi to know that these holds on A are generally quite deep, posted up. Bob actually noting 2 on the flank here. Let's have Mel in support here. Connor unnoted as of yet. Going to be slowed down here with a fault line as well.
And just steps into it. Bob, no respect, he does get punished for that. Push towards CT with a one-way, still being kept somewhat safe. So the threat sign amount a little. Romy gone down this time, and now the final 3, 2 potentially noted and 1.
I like this from KRU though. Like, still the ecos are looking. I like the eco strats. They're looking good. They leave A over open. They go for fast behind. Again, when you have a breach and Omen alive in sight, it's very hard to retake from this area. Right, you get the one way that we saw that was here. Breach can stun. Breach can do the damage here. So a lot of the time when you lose A and there's a breach and Omen, you want to kind of go behind. So at least that was good from KRU.
To take control on A.
Maybe the utility combo. You can see a little setup towards that A lobby.
See immediately the response here from KRU is to actually stack behind, maybe put some of this utility. Exactly.
This.
Interesting. They nade combo, then they stun to go close. They be in the smoke here, but Raze is kind of on her own. Oh, I'm so nervous. Yeah, this is a nice hit. This is the problem with this comp. You always have the fast. You have like the fast pump hit, right? But then when they try and re-exec on you, you don't really have too much other than the eye, other than the fade eye. So this was nice from C9. They let them do their A main control. Then they re-exec over towards here. They damage close. It was good.
To try and take this space back towards sewer, keep some.
That's the problem with this comp. There's never. It doesn't have enough util really for the secondary hit. Normally you say. That was nice. Normally you save the breach stun, but they used it very early.
It's all theirs.
It's a great setup. It's just absolutely.
Yeah, literally just that. I pretty much said it just as you typed it. Normally what you do is normally you do that combo there, and then when they use their util to retake this, then you breach stun. So they're breach stunned when you're taking this duel. So yeah, maybe KRU a little bit too loose with their util. And I think that might have been something that C9 had seen as well, because they were all waiting as soon as that breach stun came in, right? They just decided to exec. And again, it was a nice exec.
On the way through, but C9 White will retreat back towards A lobby.
With this, they're going to save so much money. They're all going to get 3k on top of all of this. It was really nice from C9. It started off pretty promising from KRU. That you know, that third round, that was really, it was really important for how. If that had gone to KRU, this would be pretty close. But it's looking like C9 might be able to run away with this. Billy Dilly, what's up, dude? Thanks so much. Feels good to be here. Yeah, it feels good to have some watch parties. Next year, we shall see.
To the operator. A Guardian will come through, a couple of light shields here, but KRU will scrape together a purchase.
Omen smoke was missing for lobby, yeah, so they didn't have to use too much. That's very true.
Bob does have
Prowler early,
well.
no combo here. Now they have the breach done and they're saving the combo. So we are seeing just like mind games over towards A main. C9 just playing super far back. They know that there's still this combo here, so they don't want to push in. I goes in, they have the smoke here, so they just cleared all of this with the smoke, and then we see a Prowler trade-off. Prowler just locked onto the Raze at the end here, so they have some information here, that's about it. But they do know that this area was clear. What the? Dude, I've never seen such early ult usage for just A main. They're really trying to force them over towards B and C here.
Ahead of this audible from C9W.
That's next time.
Yeah, able to get the players in the right place.
What do I think about the Guardians instead of Spectres? You talk about the second round. I didn't like it, I'll be honest. I like it on attack and on defense. The guns are too isolated on defense. It can snowball badly too easily. What's the reaction? Because this kill went down, they don't have mid control, and this turns into a question mark, so they have to push aggro into this. So this is nice from C9. I know they lost the duel, but they had to do something like this.
Going to cancel out that advantage immediately against the operator. That's retaking onto B site. Probably the hardest to try and find.
The crew haven't been able to win these retakes.
Swapping out to the rifle, and it pays dividends.
Katsumi, have you been noted? Have you been considered? That's a first.
Dude, they can't win clutches.
So sharp, so quick. Katsumi is having a performance as well. From that
Katsumi, I swear, if Katsumi or Alexis is alive, it feels like they can't win clutches against them.
In a row for C9W, as it almost breaks the bank here for Crew, puts them back in recovery mode.
So it was a nice Cloud9's reactional stuff is really good. Like, they're very aware when and I think it's down a lot to Mel's calling of when they need to take map control, when they're in bad situations. There's a lot of times where they could be in bad scenarios, but they take map control. And it basically just means that they're in control instead of Crew. It's really nice.
So aggressive, like you said, happy to continue digging deeper and
almost
deeper
too
and
much
deeper.
To a fault there.
Yeah, Mel has a really good understanding.
On that, but apparently they have full faith in,
she's super keen. She watches a lot. Again, it's so important for IGLs to watch a lot. You learn so much from just watching a game and not paying attention to any of this and just looking at the minimap. So she does. The more you watch, the more you're gonna learn. And she honestly watches a lot.
Actually, that's why we see Jazzykins down to 5 HP. I think actually, yeah, big indication that Base actually sends through some utility. So should read that there's actually bodies behind this.
Do they stay patient? Do they get curious? What happens to the cat and the smoke drops, and actually it's Romy to come out the better of that. Mel gonna get quickly caught up by it. The 4v4, but again, no rifle be recovered.
Away, though. Look at the minimap. Consu's backed away to try and find a safer angle to play from.
Oh, this is such a it's such a good fake. Even if it's not a fake, you have to pay mind to what Bob's about to do.
This was nice. They create pressure over towards Garage, and then had a lurker. Dude, they're just always in control. No matter what the situation, it feels like C9 are always in control.
It's a little dangerous, but it's fine. Taking down that one player, they know Konsu has been playing on that site. They know what they've done. Got the plant, and they're safe.
I think actually even initially with Mel showing presence with the Tour de Force, they don't even consider recovering this rifle on A long.
Yeah.
So actually Romy and Bice coming through just with the Sheriffs. Showstopper if things become feasible, but with this fault line, it's going to slow things down once again. Paint shell ahead of it, it's picture perfect from C9W.
Jazzy might get contact on this, could be a little bit in danger because of that, just low HP. Yeah, Bashed. First one to fall. Jazzy, 5 HP, apparently more than enough. Bob there in support, and it's looking quite clean. I need to see a timeout now.
This is just super convincing, I swear.
Because right now, Cloud9 White are just
steamrolling.
Momentum's in their side. You know, this is looking very clear cut for them.
Like I said, almost coming through with that one. That would have given Crew the
feels like pause territory
of one more buy round. And there's a reason I'm saying that previous round was so crucial towards making this first
double
half
eco.
Interesting.
Don't really need it.
KRU have hit out that timeout button, which is pretty critical, I think, to the rest of this game. If they close out the rest of the rounds, fantastic. If you're just tuning in, though, we have to then put this in
after this is
context
G2
for
X10.
2 rounds with the pistols. And if
How
we
was
talk
map
about it when we
1?
go to champs,
Very
we go to
dominant.
Masters, we talk about it now. We always weight the gun rounds heavier. If you're looking
How are the
better in
close
gun
rounds on
rounds, the buy
ecos?
rounds,
A lot of this has been close in terms of this, but it's where you're seeing them kind of gamble a bit more. And to be honest, it looks like if I'm just comparing the two maps, KRU are very proactive and they have like set strats on their ecos. Then on their defense, they're very like it's very stale.
First off, that we didn't really see in a sense, honestly.
No.
C9W would just, I gotta say, worlds apart in terms of on a macro level what they show.
I kind of would like them to do something a bit more aggro on defense with guns again. It feels a bit like I'm watching a Sam.
We want to see the same thing, right? It was almost
But let's see.
rejuvenated the first half in terms of the approach to some of the
Again,
rounds.
C9 have just been very good at. C9 have just done everything perfectly.
I'd be interested to see what KRU look like if they explore the rest of the map a little bit as well. Try and maybe. I say explore.
They're playing so patient though, right? They're never forcing into this area. Look at them, right? Then look at this. It's just straight, just default. Just wait and see what's gonna happen.
This is totally different, Romy.
This is nice from KRU. Good mid control. Good information. They don't know that they could have got this for free, but it's okay. Smoke now comes in. So smoke. Okay, this question mark for C9 just got completely cleared, right? So they now cleared this using the Prowler, and then they now cleared. It didn't go far enough. This Prowler got stuck here, but these two were question marks for C9, and they wanted to clear both of them. They kind of did, maybe not this one here because the Prowler didn't go far enough. So they create pressure. They made sure that there are two people over here from KRU, and then now they want to try and pressure over towards C.
Revealed on the second. I said not.
So they pressure over towards C, the two people that are over towards A turn into one, and now they go over and hit A. So they're trying to just manipulate the rotates. Again, everything from C9 is just really nice.
And that's it, you can see Romy relaying that information now, but Bob almost catching her off guard.
Big
still wins it.
Oh my goodness.
Big shot there coming in, but the pressure on towards the side's already mounting, but they already know what's coming their way. Konsu with a big double, finds Jazzy, gets Alexis down, and brings us back to maybe...
Can they win a clutch?
A 2v2 with a post plant, but Katsumi and Mel still standing.
Still got the paranoia to work with. Mel down to 30 HP though. An open plant towards long. C9W just going to stack up as two here.
It's a very good plant for long, and they have no smokes. The thing is, they're not going to know. So again, if we're KRU now, the question marks are here and here. Obviously, there's a question mark on site that they need to clear, but when they clear that first question mark and the spikes here, it's good from this angle and this angle. So what's going to happen is one of them is going to play fast, and then the second one will play after. As there's no smoke to cover the spike, it should be okay. This is...
The TP taken, they ain't stopping. No fear shown, and the paranoia actually catching. And that is where the
okay, that was a bit of a mess up. Little bit of a mess up. I think they honestly, I'm gonna be honest. It felt like they overfought it a little bit. The tap came in on the spike. They used the Omen ult to try and get information, but it took too long, and then the swing came in too late. And then they realized they were sticking it, so then they tried to Omen flash, but then the Omen flash hit the teammate. Yeah, this wasn't the nicest to watch. This is. Okay, that was actually a bit like a comedy sketch. That was everything that could go wrong went wrong. But chat, that is the first mistake I've seen C9 do.
For KRU, they're going to have a much deeper hold. Frontline will go through.
The spaghetti, yeah, bit of spaghetti on the floor there.
Just trying to find Jazzy on that orb. That would actually give Jazzy the showstopper. Be able to pave the way onto C site here. Yeah,
this is like a pretty good hit.
Respect this. Got to give it up.
I mean, that's a nice hit.
Okay, so that should be.
I didn't see if there was anything for back of site here, but that seemed pretty. Nice.
Plant comes in, and the site's there. Post plant's looking interesting as well. They still have that player sitting deep towards B, all the way down the middle. That's gonna be Melt. Tuck towards it.
Dude, the site hit's so good, they plant. The only problem is there's a lot of people back here, so the Omen's really important, right? The Omen smokes are very important for this retake.
That is going to be a curious battle, because surely Mel's not considering this now. Surely the timing window could be devastating, actually, if she gets it right.
That's the smoke we're talking about.
Damn,
Mel's just won all the jewels.
Behind the wire, and Mel closing in now. Don't do it to him. Just get the job done. And still there is that unknown quantity of that one player on the flank.
What a round from Mel. Okay, Mel just won all the jewels. Nice luck.
To the party.
I want to be so cautious of where Mel is lurking, right? Where she's positioned. It takes so long. And Mel actually finds that timing perfectly onto Garage. I think almost KRU are anticipating that flank to come through much earlier. That's why Romi's in that position in the first place. Beautifully done. Even to find the second here onto Konsu. Catches a flying Kalita up into the cubby. Beautifully done by C9. Showing confidence on the other side of the map. The focal
I think
point
it's smart for Energy to keep Som. Yeah, I think so. I think he's a good player. I think we'll... I don't know. It's all kind of like... We'll find out. We'll find out soon.
The issue here, Konsu with a
I think he's good enough.
Actually going exploring, rewarded for it, but
and I think the chemistry is important.
Down the smoke behind that.
That's brutal. Now,
went so aggro here, but this is finally out. Dude, Mel is just everywhere in the lurk today. She's everywhere you don't want her to be in terms of like when you're, if you're KRU. Full information here, full information here. She has all of the behind cleared. They kill the Omen, so they know that they can play down long. This is what I'm saying, like the understanding's really good here. They kill the Omen, they know they can play down long. Just Mel's lurks. That was a good shot. Romi's actually out-aiming a lot.
There's no threat in the back lines, no more dagger in the back, no more knife looming above their head. The flash gets turned and Jazzy still fine, does get noted, tries to get out of danger and does just that.
Okay, should be okay if C9 still, that's a nice nade though, that's a great nade.
And finally the trade comes out. It's still going well for KRU.
That nade was actually perfect. Time pressure. Oh, this is a good retake in the end. They did good. Really nice to raid. Romi was everything on this. That kill onto Mel was super important and this nade was really good. Forced them out into the open and the swing came. That was actually good. 4 rounds. If they get a pistol, I'm actually thinking they could do this still. It doesn't feel as completely done as Ascent. Cole, thank you so much. Cole 197 with the prime, appreciate you. 6 months in the Slug Club.
Massive, but it may be something, and they need something right now. Do stay tuned.
Calculate to avoid the 9-3. This is much better. This is like...
good to see KRU.
Do you know what? I still think KRU will be a little bit gutted. There's still some rounds that they probably should have been closing out. Also, Cloud9 will be super happy with losing pistol and getting 8 is mad. XOZ this is nicely timed as well. Thank you so much. XOZ 10 gifted. That's chat. That's 115 gifted altogether. It's so crazy. Let's get some slug approves in chat. Let's get some of these in. Thank you so much. XOZ, good to see you again, dudes. Thank you. I appreciate you. Chat, let's get a lot of slugs approves in. It's crazy how much support this guy's giving me. Seka, Darkling, Foss, Fraz, Simi May, Super Yampy, Dada Mojika, Fussy Stream, Bangovic, and For My Eyes Only. Welcome into the Slug Club. And Grant Meister as well. 5 months in the Slug Club. Thank you so much. If you got gifted a sub, please say thank you to XOZ. I see some of you now doing it. Missed the streams? Yeah, it's good to be back.
I agree with you that we're struggling a little bit in the late round, but
it is good to be back. Thank you so much for the support, dude. It's a mad amount.
Now, looking forward into what can we expect, right? Coming into KRU, knowing that you have to pull this back, that you've only managed to get those kills. I wanted to take a look at the kills that Kunir usually has on the attack. It's actually a map that allows it to see how the impact is going to be, especially on A, that sometimes she's going to be guarding the flank, expecting people to be pushing onto them, but she's also going to be sitting on
since there's like a truly top class IGLs, do you think it would be easier for IGLs to get into a top team? Oh, for sure. It's always been easier for IGLs to get into a top team. Even when so when the EMEA teams kind of got into franchise, and there was only probably, I was having this conversation, I can't remember who it was with, might have been Cooper actually, we were having this conversation that there's only like maybe 8 top tier 1 IGLs, so there was going to be like 2 teams that kind of don't have a top tier 1 IGL.
A couple of players stood out coming to this, Konir being one of them. I'm looking at Romy again, considering
pretty much every team that's in, apart from like Scream in my mind isn't like a set IGL,
Map being that lurk, being that problem.
So I guess it's K-Corp and Heretics with blue.
And I want to see KRU do damage now, not just in the pistol, throughout the gun rounds.
When we're making that
Mr. Fallon, I think I rate Mr. Fallon very highly. So yeah.
Being the catalyst absolutely has achieved that here on the defense. Maybe not reflected in terms of round success just yet, but coming into
Vice Clone, thank you so much. Perfect time for the resub. Yep, join in. Thank you so much. Vice Clone, appreciate it. 5 months in the Slug Club. Okay, straight on C hit. Prowler goes here. Think that checks the corner.
Who's been stellar.
Nice timing of the flash, by the way. See the timing on the breach flash? That was really good.
Overwhelmed in the end, but Bob makes appearance towards the back of the site and still seals. Ooh, I thought he was about to seal 2 more there, but no, it's just going to be a bloody
It was so good from C9. Everyone was in the right position. I really want to shout out Alexis there. I thought her util was great.
First hurdle, that first challenge.
The timing on the flash push was really good. They didn't really have a crossfire, and they just had to play together. So Smoke was here, flashed above, and double swing. And then everyone's reactions were really good.
For Cloud9. And actually 4 Spectres, the scope.
Rhyme is an IGL? That's a question mark for me. I don't know. I think Rhyme's a really good player. I don't know how good he is at IGLing, so it's like we'll find out. But he's a very good player. And I think from watching some of his stuff, and I've watched his stream a little bit, I think he's pretty smart. So I think he'll be good, but he's not the most experienced IGL. There's such good util here. Nice Omen flash.
They've instantly hindered that pressure that was coming towards C-Long, and now they're going to send them looking for other options, right? Has there been an over-rotation? Do we have a chance somewhere? You got
Boo proven? Yes, but I'm not sure I'd say tier 1. Maybe I need to see more.
From that spike.
Hope he does well. Yeah, so do I. There's a lot of question marks in terms of this.
Ready and waiting.
I don't see many people talking about that Giants team. Giants are like Giants have a very good roster. I don't see many teams, many people talking about that team. But like that's a sleeper team.
Bob actually lining up for a reveal here.
Their retakes that I saw before leading into this tournament were out of this world.
So
percentage-wise, it is choreographed. So I'll be very interested to see how this looks now going in. Already big info, that's huge, but can they build off the back of it? They need to get towards the side here.
I was going to say that the timing felt a little bit off on this retake, so I'm glad that Jazzykins just absolutely sent it.
The last one alive. 1v4, defuse started, smoke in place.
Nade. Oh, it's a good nade.
And the paint shot back into play, going to do some chip damage, force Katsumi into a bad scenario. One more bullet to play with, and sweating them on the other side. But
dude, that was so doable.
But it got dangerous.
I mean, it's only actually that Cloud9 White are in position to retake this so early that actually Robbie doesn't get another opportunity to close it out. Lots of damage done, though. Just 2 weapons carried away from that for C9.
I'm going to... I'm trying to get watch party rights for some of the events coming up.
Swarming onto
so we'll see.
It's totally blind.
He's starting to feel a little bit of that pressure now. At 4 to 10, you do see that they've hit those double digits. Now, it is only the pistol, so put it where you want. This is the big buy coming out from KRU, and it's got to be clean in my book. I want to see at least 4 standing. I want to see those rifles.
KRU have to win this round.
I need to see this round look sewn up on the other side for Cloud9.
What do you think about the Liquid situation? 3 LAN chambers. Nah, we can't include Nuts as a LAN chamber, in my opinion. Only Fracture in my head, right? But I get what you're saying. There's a few overlaps. There's definitely a few overlaps. There's a big question. I think it might not be as set, right? When we're looking at Liquid, I think it might be map dependent. I don't think it's going to be as set as some of these other teams where it's like set duelist, set smoker, set initiator. I think it might be a little bit flex, but we'll see. They have flexible players, so it's doable. This.
Bob repositioning back towards heaven.
Okay, this is.
Clip it. That's the reveal. Bob actually rewarded for it as well, but Romi's found another 2. Jazzy and Katsumi will.
Romi looks really good.
Yeah, this is good work, but again, we're talking about keeping this clean. They have the 4 rifles still standing. They do not want to lose a single other one.
Problem being though, in this post plant, it's going to be very difficult to find.
They know.
Romi's actually very close and actually giving one away.
And that could be a rifle.
I don't like going there with the nade.
A little bit more safety towards it. That could be a rifle back in the hand. And
what was the reveal? You throw it through like the roof and it goes onto the side here. And it gets like the majority of this area. I don't think it gets this corner. It's like all of this.
Towards the corner, Kalita here, tucked on the corner, has to pay off, and it does. Takes away Alexis from this, and Bob now on the chopping block dealt with, but it's costly. It's not as clean as I'd like, they get
okay.
Across the
The
line.
good thing for Crew, even though they lost a few people, the good thing for Crew is they have 2 big ults. But on the other side, C9 have some good ults as well. Let's see where this run goes. If Crew gets this, I actually think they can take this. It'll be super hard, but the belief is still there.
This is the one that actually, again, it just shifts around behind. Like I said, Robbie, giving this one away.
Does Safe play anything other than Chamber and Jet? Yes, Safe literally has played like everything in his career.
Just a one-head advantage.
Yeah, like Minnie said, played Sentinel and Guild, and he's played Sky a lot.
And this is the one.
Played Chamber, played Jet,
Same
Killjoy.
Towards C-site as well. And last time, I mean, Mel and Bob didn't progress down long, but this time Mel's hanging around with the operator.
Yeah, sticking here, trying to maybe bail Bob out. But
Hey, this is nice though. Isolated, they get the TP out. Don't they realize how much they owned it?
How is Bob alive?
What was that?
That's crazy.
3 HP.
How?
Dude, how is the ult not killed?
Someone's looking after C9W.
Like through the legs or something? That was nuts.
She is still alive.
Nice Omen flash, nice ult. Dude, the util from C9 is so good. Do they know? Do they know? Okay. At least had awareness, right? I'm very impressed by Katsumi. Katsumi and Alexis definitely don't get talked about that much in this team. I'm well impressed with how they're playing so far. Doing good. All their utils are so good.
Oh my god. What
Give me
was
that one more
round?
time. I want to see that.
That was ridiculous from Bob.
How?
Again, the reveal. Mel's desperate to try and deal with the operator. I'm not sure if Bob was actually blinded ahead of that. You can see the near side had come through.
It looked like she was, yeah.
This is outrageous.
Dude, the ult literally like went next to him. That's so
I think
funny.
Katsumi as well, the adjustment here to find Connor, who slipped onto site, the second completely blind onto Kalita, and smiles on the faces. That's the 11th.
Do you think what happened to C9 when Jim gets snapped?
Crew back down on
That'd be fine.
Garbage buy here, just pistols to work with. No showstopper, invested
Nice
in
combo
the
of
previous.
Torta. There's a few teams that might suffer a little bit from that. I'm not sure they'll suffer too hard.
This sort of purchase.
Reliable elements absent, and B pressure.
Look what C9W are doing now on C-Long.
And there's certain marks in the game, right? You get past that first gun round, you keep some of those.
I mean, I'm so fine with
them,
this.
Then you can start exploring.
3-man push with guns. Again, I'm normally not a fan of pushing on ecos, but when you're doing it with 3 people, I'm kind of fine with it.
Crew are aware, but they're just not equipped. Just going to be those sheriffs and odds and ends and bits and pieces, and it's just a massacre again. 3 bodies littered on the floor. Spike now down, and this is looking brutal. And only the Ghost and Sheriff to take the stand, and the poor of utility.
So much util.
Look at it, just raining in. And
this is so much overwhelm to get information in the Prowlers. Dude, C9 utils is so good.
5 stand, 5 move forward, and only 5 rounds for Crew.
Not letting their foot off the gas at all, maintaining this level of pressure. The Crew, unfortunately, just left licking their wounds. Vice now, Nightfall available. So some of these positives we talk about just haven't come to fruition here in the second half.
No. They didn't have much time to work it in, though.
No.
This is the other thing.
I said a slight advantage on the first map's result.
Yeah, it's difficult because at the very worst,
Do I see any team being C9 White? I mean,
solid approach to the game. They've got great fundamentals.
I think they're going to win the tournament. Like I really do.
It is minimal.
But I definitely think G2. I think G2 and Liquid is going to be the biggest test for them.
To keep a consideration towards that, keep that in mind for a little while. But it's going to be Mel, very much alone. How long do you stick around here? Going to be found by the Prowler, and eventually will concede the site. Oh, actually, Alexis is stuck around.
Thing is, I haven't watched enough of Guild.
Mel's there too, and it is a shot down and a shot out. You've even got the ult coming as well.
Oh my god, this is so dominant. Holy hell, they do look good though. They look really, really good.
Exactly why they are the team to
they look kind of scary.
Another round where Robbie, just got to mention, just plucked from the air once again. Just
again, after today, once we see them play G2, then we're going to really see if they're like... Because they look